Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the tangle Rootie from Rochelle Salmon. Okay, this is an interesting one, and I'm trying to remember that I had come up with a name for these ones that you can just kind of scatter, different than a fragment. Kind of like an accent tangle, but so you can cluster these however you want. All right, so here's how this one works. And I did take some liberty and I separated out some of the steps on my version of the step out. So do take a look at both of those in the description section. Okay, starts off with a C shape. Now, I'll tell you in a minute. Hold on. Hold that thought. Where do I want to place this? Because I want to put some other ones. We'll put it right sort of in the center. Okay. So, a nice C shape. And then, just a little line coming down from, I'm going to call that the top. Doesn't matter, whichever side you want. Then, another C shape, connecting this to this, kind of sort of aura-ing it. Like that. However it comes together at the end, don't worry about it. Okay, then I decided it was best because let me look back. Hold on. Yeah, I separated this step out, and I decided for me it was better to extend this line up. So extend it, as far as you wish. And then same idea with the C shape. Coming down and around and merging together at the end. Then, I've been doing it this way, even though it doesn't necessarily feel comfortable in my hand. I guess the only other way, but I want to start it here because I want to make sure to land it. Let's try it this way. Okay, so we're going to, this middle line, which is essentially that first C shape that we drew, we're going to extend that into an orb. So I'm going to use the takeoff and land concept. And there we go. And it's an orb. So there's no such thing as perfection in Zentangle anyway. So however it ends up and it's fine. And then, now I'm looking at Rochelle's samples. Now, I don't know that it matters, but it might. This inner section, this is essentially the first section we created, we're going to fill that in. And in all of her samples, they're all filled in. And I think it provides a really nice contrast. Then everything else you can decorate however you wish. But of course, you can do whatever you want. And it makes sense to have this be, a piece of contrast, because then you can have fun with the pieces on the side. Now let's see. What did I like best about... Oh, I liked all of them. Let's do... I like the ones with lines. Which way do I want to do them? Oh, let's do them diagonal just to be different. Because I was like, we could do it this way. We could do it this way. Nah. I'm going to start right in the middle. And if you do them with a light touch, like just let the pen kind of tickle the paper. Flip it. Because then, and this is just my opinion, then it doesn't seem to matter how straight, how the lines are actually. And I could have... Well, no, wait, I'm going to leave that way. And on my version of the step out, I did doodah in one, and I thought that looked really cool. So let's do that in this one. And if you're not familiar, it's a Zentangle original tangle. And you're just drawing lines. It looks like a zipper, doesn't it? I don't know how far I can do this, but it oddly takes some concentration because we're going alternate sides and just barely to the to the opposite side, so that way you get that kind of zipper or a maze effect. And I don't know if you can, okay, it's just going to be lines from there on. I didn't do too bad going down there. And it's a really, really neat effect. It's almost like, oh, I can't think of the right word. Anyway, I think it has a really neat effect. Then I'm thinking, just because I didn't try this on my step out because it's not completely finished yet. Because I wanted to play. Oh, that looks neat. We could extend some of that graphite up here. But I kept seeing that in my head. I was like, oh, let's do some shading there. And it really makes this kind of pop out from the rest. So, again, this is one that you know, look at the description section. I mean, look at the link in the description section for the For More Inspiration link so you can see Rochelle's work. Sometimes I have trouble clustering stuff like this together. Oh, but you know what? She has some that are kind of going upside down where this part is butting up against here. Oh, I like that. Let's try that. We'll do a little a small cluster of them. And I like it when they're hollowed. I think that looks rather neat. And it does seem I like the construction that she has in the below her step out in the sample, and it seems that they're going one way or the other, and I kind of like that. Different sizes. Okay, so let's do, and the nice thing with this, so clustering them together, okay, let's just do it. This bottom line, so of the first C shape that we make, it's like we can count on where that's going to be. Everything else is, well, except for the inside part. Because that's not going to go over. But this one, and I can just hollow bow behind this. And we will assume, see, it'll magically go that way. Then, let's take this and make the orb. Whoop, like that. And there we go. Actually, it makes me think of a mohawk. That's what it's making me think of. Yeah, just really, like I said, really neat ideas. And let's try maybe not that small. Like I said, I really like the look of the sample, and I'm like, well, we have to try this. Oops, did you see what I did? No, you didn't. We're going to make a variation. Oh, we'll leave that one on the top. Okay. And, although I suppose you could probably figure it out. It shouldn't be too hard. I was thinking, why not create that orb first and then, do the line. Let's just try it. We'll see how it works. We'll see. I like to experiment with things right here, live and in person. Okay, so let's do it. So, if we did the orb first, then wherever we deem the top to be, which will be here, and to draw a line crossing, right? And then this one like this one like that. Shape is different, isn't it? It's interesting. It is interesting. Okay, that just means I'm gonna fill this in. Maybe not during our time, but after. And just by the way, if you're doing something like that where you're doing a lot of filling in, I found that just doing like a scribble like that is helpful, because then it's kind of cordoned off. Like, it's like, okay, I know what I'm going to do there. And then I try to remember what the tangle, maybe it was even something as simple as Knightsbridge, where sometimes you can get confused if you try to get all fancy with it. And let's see, let's do one here. and then, we accidentally start filling in where where you shouldn't. It doesn't seem like things like that should ever happen, especially with the Knightsbridge, but sometimes it does. Oh, it's just interesting. All right, we need to have another upside down one here. All right, well, while I'm playing, if you're enjoying this one, and I hope you are, this one is, like I said, I didn't play with this one as much as I do with some others, and because the placement is random, it kind of throws me a little bit, and so it takes a little bit more mental work on my part, so I hope you don't mind. And you know what? If you have the same challenge, let me know in the chat. It's just it's nice that we know that there's others and we can stick together. Commiserate. Okay, let's do this one. And this one will hollow bow like that underneath there. It's just interesting. It really is. All right. So if you have enjoyed this, please click on the like button. If you liked it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. And I do like to try a lot of different things, because sometimes I find myself getting in a rut, like especially when it's nice out. And it's like, oh, let's just do the flowers and organic ones and, have everything be pretty. But Zentangle's about patterns. And while the, flowery ones are lovely, there are so many other types of tangles out there. I do try to just kind of mix it up every day. All right. Let's see. In the description section, I mentioned links to the step outs. And so I always do my own version and then link to the creator of the tangle. So you will find those there. And then below those is my link tree. And that has links to my website where you can follow my blog, Facebook page where you can, it's either like or follow. I don't know. They change it, right? And there I post this daily tangle. I post classes, other fun stuff. And also if you are on Facebook, we have a amazing Facebook, Tangle Addicts Facebook community group. And so if you'd like to join us there, we would love to have fun with you, tangle with you, and support you in your tangle addiction as we are all working together to not recover from it. We are working our best to keep ourselves in it, because it's the best addiction ever. All right. If you want to join us and you click on that link, know that there are 4 questions that have to be answered in order to gain entry. Do some orbs on this one. Yeah, and that's it. Because I just like to make sure that because I think the ones that don't click it, I don't know if you call them bots or they're just people that want to cause trouble or whatever the deal is, but it does seem to keep them out. So that is part of the aim. The other part of the aim is to kind of set the tone for the group. This one I'm going to do lines going this way. I did those ones going diagonal, and that was fun indeed. But, and what's neat is let's just I'm going to do them different. Or I might go back. Who knows? Anyway, I don't remember what I was saying. It does, about the Facebook group. It does seem to keep us with actual real people that want to be there to tangle, or at least to lurk and comment, and that's fun too. All right. So you can do you have the lines go in different directions. You can, of course, leave that open, and this is just one of those, anything you can imagine to put in, you can put in. Nice zigzaggy line. Oh, now it really looks like a mohawk. And I'm going to have to fill in some of them because of that. But that's okay. Now it looks like a spiky. It's a punk rocker. But if I put a little orb here, now it's toned it down a little bit. Okay, at least in my mind anyway. Okay, there we go. Oh, and let's see, and I'll have a couple other ones. I can decide that later. You don't have to watch me agonize over what should we do next. And it seems like, well, you know what? Oh no, I've got a great idea. Let's do, because I don't do it enough, a maze or stir it up. It's the same tangle, different names. And it is just like this. It's kind of a jiggly-ish line or just wiggles. And if you can aim to kind of keep an aura between the lines, but it's just squiggly like that. Well, let's do it up here too. You know, and it switches directions wherever you want it to go, which just makes it fun. I tell you what, though, it did take me a minute to get my head around it. I saw it a long time ago, and I'm like, that's not an elemental stroke. I don't understand. And then I watched a video. And if you search my my channel, you will find a link. Let's see. What do we want to do with this one, though? Oh, let's add the orbs over here. Okay. Yeah, you'll find a link to that video. I think it was from a project pack. And I just needed to have a verbal explanation and watch them do it because I could see, but at the same time, it didn't make any sense. So, let's see. And I've done those kind of lines. Oh, let's do kind of yeah. Just a squiggly kind of S shape. Like that. And I think I'm going to leave those open. We'll just add some graphite. Oh, and maybe let's add the graphite over here. Just for kicks. We'll see what that looks like. Oh, and I don't even know what to do with that. Oh, well, let's do this. You know, and this is one that's fun to just play. Because that's what I'm doing. Trying to not think about it and just say, okay, let's just try this. Like a sampler. Let's try this. Let's try that. Let's see what happens here. Oh, wait, let's get that right to the edge. Yeah. And a little C over here. So that way it looks like it's like a marble, you know, with a hat on or something. I just think the shape is so interesting. All right. And then, you know, a fun thing, sort of, is like the outside of it was looking just, I don't know. I wasn't being happy with it. And then so just what popped into my head was, oh, well, we could do this, where we just put some graphite, or I'm using what's left on the Tortillion, but when that runs out, it's almost like clouds. So just staying away from the tangle, as you can see, just scribbling. And you could do this with colors too. So if you have like chalk pencils or something, that you can use with, you know, with a Tortillion nicely. It has an interesting effect. And I've done it with like a couple colors of the General's chalk pencils, and it just turns out neat. So there we have it. I don't know if I like it. I think I like it this way. Yeah. You know, and then there's other things you could do in the background too. You could put dots. There's therefore. So many other background tangles that you could use that would, you know, just make it look like it's finished. All right. So, but wait, I could still do this. And I don't think I've done this on here. It's such a neat thing. You can. So we can make a little frame. And I like to put, let's put an orb. And it doesn't even have, it could just be that even. But I have this extra space up here. So we could, and it's similar to this idea where you're keeping a distance, you know, a little bit of an aura. If I put another orb up here, then it'll kind of match. And then we could put a little line here. The other one we'll just consider, well, we could consider that underneath or not worry about it, since these two corners, I don't know why, all of a sudden my camera, it's blurry on the sides. I need to figure out what's going on with that. I fixed it once. It seemed like it was doing it before it's a setting. But anyway, things to frame it and finish it. That's always nice to have those kind of things in your mental toolbox. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this. Again, well, I already said, if you did, like, share, subscribe, all of that stuff. Check out the description section for the links. And thank you again so much for watching. And I wish you happy tangling.